Thank you very much. Never Trump. And big league Ford. The press has become so dishonest. To be honest, I inherited a mess. It's a mess. A mess. I inherited a mess. Israel, Mexico, Japan,
China.
Another mess I inherited. Got 306 electoral college votes. I wasn't supposed to get 222. They said there's no way to get 222. 230 is impossible. 270, which you need, that was laughable. We got 306. I guess it was the biggest electoral college win since Ronald Reagan. This administration is running like a fine-tuned machine. Drugs are becoming cheaper than candy bars, and the wall is going to be a great wall. I've heard 80%. I find that hard to believe. That's just a number I heard. To drain the swamp of corruption in Washington, D.C., we've begun preparing to repeal and replace Obamacare. Big league. It's already happening, but big league. Among their responsibilities will be ending the bleeding for decades, decades and decades and decades, folks. And we haven't even started the big work yet. That starts early next week. And with that, I just say, God bless America, and let's take some questions. Mike Flynn is a fine person, and you can talk all you want about Russia, which was all a fake news, fabricated deal to try and make up for the loss of the Democrats, and the press plays right into it. It's all fake news. It's all fake news. It was a very, very confidential, classified call. I said, I don't think he did anything wrong. If anything, he did something right.
During your campaign, did anyone from your team communicate with members of the Russian government or Russian intelligence? And if so, what were the nature of those conversations?
Yeah. Well, the failing New York Times wrote a big, long front-page story yesterday. And I can tell you, speaking for myself, I own nothing in Russia. I have no loans in Russia. I don't have any deals in Russia. Russia is fake news. This is fake news put out by the media. That was like the story they wrote about the women and me. Front page, big, massive story. And it was nasty. Okay.
Well, very simply, you said today that you had the biggest electoral margin since Ronald Reagan with 306 electoral votes. In fact, President Obama got 365 in 2008.
Well, I'm talking about Republican.
The President Obama 332, and George H.W. Bush 426 when he won as president. So why should Americans trust you?
Well, no, I was given that
information.
I was just given. We had a very, very big margin.
I guess my question is, why should Americans trust you when you accuse the information they receive of being fake when you're providing information that's
Well, I don't know. I was given that information.
And on the leaks, is it fake news or are these real leaks?
Well, the leaks are real. You're the one that wrote about them and reported them. I mean, the leaks are real. You know what they said. You saw it. And the leaks are absolutely real. The news is fake. Well, I had nothing to do with it. I have nothing to do with Russia. I told you. I have no deals there. I have no anything. Now, when WikiLeaks, which I had nothing to do with, comes out and happens to give, they're not giving classified information. They're giving stuff, what was said in an office about Hillary cheating on the debates, which, by the way, nobody mentions. Nobody mentions that Hillary received the questions to the debates. The electric chair. I do get good ratings, you have to admit that. The tone is such hatred. I watched this morning a couple of the network, and I have to say, Fox and Friends in the morning, they're very honorable people. Donald Trump rants and raves at the press. I'm not ranting and raving. I'm just telling you, you're dishonest people. But Donald Trump rants and raves.
Aren't you concerned, sir, that you are undermining the people's faith in the First Amendment, freedom of the press, the press in this country when you call stories you don't like fake news.
The public doesn't believe you people anymore. Now, maybe I had something to do with that. I don't know. I won. We are running, this is a fine-tuned machine. I guess one of the reasons I'm here today is to tell you the whole Russian thing, that's a ruse. That's a ruse. Now, tomorrow you'll say, Donald Trump wants to get along with Russia. This is terrible. We had Hillary Clinton give Russia 20% of the uranium in our country. You know what uranium is, right? It's a thing called nuclear weapons and other things, like lots of things are done with uranium, including some bad things. The greatest thing I could do is shoot that ship that's 30 miles offshore right out of the water. I love to negotiate things. I do it really well and all that stuff. Not good.
There was
not
a violation
good.
of an
not
agreement
good.
between destroyer.
Not good.
I-
Nuclear holocaust would be like no other.
Can we?
You know what I gave to Russia? You know what I gave? Nothing. We are going to attack Mosul. I don't have to tell you what I'm going to do in North Korea. Where are you from?
BBC.
Okay. Here's another beauty.
It's a good line. Impartial, free and fair.
Yeah, sure.
So
Nobody
you're not
that I-
aware of any context
Look,
during
look,
the course
look.
of the election?
How many times do I have to answer this question?
Can you just say
Russia
yes or no
is
on
a
it?
ruse. Yeah, I know you have to get up and ask a question, so important. Russia is a ruse. I have nothing to do with Russia. How much longer should we stay here, folks?
What we are concerned about, and what we haven't really heard being addressed, is an uptick in anti-Semitism and how the government is planning to take care of it.
Number one, I am the least anti-Semitic person that you've ever seen in your entire life. Number two, racism, the least racist person. So we're going to do a lot of work on the inner cities. I have great people lined up to help with the inner cities.
Well,
okay?
when you say the inner cities, are you gonna include the CBC, Mr. President, in your conversations with your urban agenda, your inner city agenda, as well as?
Am I gonna include
Are you
who?
going to include the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional
Well, I
Hispanic
would.
Caucus?
I tell you what. Do you want to
as
set
well
up
as
the
on
meeting? Do you want to set up the meeting?
No.
Are they friends of
I'm
yours?
Just a reporter.
No, set up the meeting.
I know some of them, but I'm sure
Let's
they're
go.
watching
Set up
right
a
now.
meeting. I would love to meet with the Black Caucus. I think it's great, the Congressional Black Caucus. I think it's great. But it's very important to me. But this isn't Donald Trump that divided a nation. We went 8 years with President Obama, and we went many years before President Obama. We lived in a divided nation. And I am going to try. I will do everything within my power to fix that. I want to thank everybody very much. It's a great honor to be with you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks.